Hey, it's Mike here over in Taiwan. I want to talk about one of the comments that I got. Somebody said that for teaching English, Taiwan is like one of the worst places. I mean, I guess it is what it is. But the first thing that the guy said was that there's no nightlife here. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, there's like pockets of like places, and I mean, definitely it's not as wild as say like South Korea, at least the way that it used to be, or Vietnam. But they have something here. I think they're a little bit more conservative. I think that people are kind of a little bit more into night markets, and when it comes around 11 or 12 at night, usually people just say, I want to go home. As far as the pay goes and the expenses, the guy was saying that it was like pretty expensive here. And then I guess, with that the salary hasn't really gone up in the last like couple of years or like whatever. Yeah, he's right. But at the same time, I mean, there's other benefits beside that, though. I mean, the quality of life, healthcare. People are always going to kind of put that up to the front of living life in Taiwan. I think that probably my life in Taiwan is probably better than it would be if I, like, say, for example, lived in Thailand, or if I lived in Vietnam or something like that. Say if I was like teaching English over in Japan. Japan is good. They have like high standards for everything, but like the Japanese yen is very, very low, right? So, I mean, kind of like pros and cons. I can't really, go all in and say, yeah, you're totally right about Taiwan or like whatever. But at the same time, I mean, if you just graduated, you do need a job, then I would say probably Taiwan is a really good bet. You should probably do your research though, because there are good and bad things. I think this is probably a good opportunity for me to talk about. Okay, so for example, like bosses, like I basically just came here and I was blind, and I was like, just okay, I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna say my boss was bad. I would say probably more like my management was bad. I don't even remember like what my boss looked like. I just all remember that she couldn't speak English. Usually at some of these cram schools, like a lot of some of the bosses, like they don't even speak English, right? And they just rely on like the managers and stuff to just kind of get everything. Go. You gotta like just really be like eyes open when you're going to some of these places, because first like the management, second the bosses, they might be not really that good. They might discriminate against you, and I think this is probably a word that people don't really like to say, because people already have an idea about what an English teacher looks like, or what an English teacher is like. Not too old, certain accent, maybe certain skin color, blah blah blah, whatever. I mean, if you've been in the English teaching game for at least like 2 years, like you're probably gonna see that and know that already, and just accept it instead of like complaining about it, because I mean, there's nothing really you can do about it, right? And the other thing is language. I've talked about this before, about how when I first got here, it was like, lady said to me, order anything on the menu, right? And the menu was like on the walls and stuff, and I was like, I can't read this. I feel like people in like Taiwan are like super oblivious about like outsiders like coming in and like knowing about like whatever, right? There's a special thing about like for example with bubble tea. When you order bubble tea, you have to tell them, okay, how much sugar you want, and how much sugar and how much ice you want. And there's like actually special words for it, and I can't really think about it off the top of my head, but if you're coming to Taiwan for the first time, it's like you just have to go there to be like, okay, well, I'm gonna order a bubble tea, and then people will be like, well, what do you want in the bubble tea, right? So, and even when you go to the convenience stores, they're going to be asking like some details about like some stuff, like I think one of the questions that they ask you first is, do you want a bag? Another question that they ask you is, there's kind of like this receipt thing, because there's like a receipt lottery. They're going to ask you, do you have the app for the receipt, so you can take the receipt numbers into your phone. So if you come here the first time, they're going to ask you all these questions. They're going to just send like mo, right? And you're going to be, I don't know. A lot of people, like they just give up, and they just say, you know what, I'm just going to use my phone. I'm just going to translate all this stuff. And especially, I guess, kind of like quote unquote young people right now, a lot of them, they're just kind of going through things and just being, okay, how's the easiest way that I can do this? What is the way that I can use AI and go in and out of Taiwan, right? Guys, I hate to tell you this, but if you are the type of person that's just going to come to Taiwan and stay for a week and then just like say, man, it's horrible here, then you're probably right. Because Taiwan is not a place where you could just like come here for like a couple of days and then have like the time of your life and then like get out. You won't. I've been here for a long time. I still don't have like the greatest friends. I have probably the closest thing that I have to like a good friends or like just some people that I met online. So, it's not like Japan, where they have like some certain attitude, especially towards foreigners and stuff. But you got to take into consideration too that Japan was like closed off to everybody for like 500 years, right? And the only people who could go to Japan were like the Dutch and the Chinese. So they kind of still carry on that attitude about like, we are Japanese and you are foreigner. I would say probably Taiwan is kind of like this weird like melange, like this mix, because they do still kind of have that attitude like we are from Taiwan and you are whatever, but they don't necessarily like really say it. They just kind of have like their little groups and their own words. They even have like this dialect in Taiwan that only, I would say probably mostly old people speak. And it's probably not necessary for you to learn that unless you like want to be like really, really niche and like, talk to like all the old people and stuff like that. Like even for me, I'm kind of struggling with the Chinese, which I probably should figure out a little bit more. But I think probably the last part, or maybe one second last part, or like whatever piece of advice that I'm going to give anybody who wants to come to Taiwan, English teaching, engineering, whatever you write, is emotional stability. People in Taiwan are like not the most open people in the world. They might be really helpful, but they're not like super, super friendly. I have lots and lots of arguments about this, like with like people that I talk to online and stuff. And it's just, it is what it is, right? And I think that they don't want to accept it. I think they want to like kind of put their best foot forward and say like, yeah, Taiwan is like super friendly. It's not. You want to go to a super friendly place, go to like Brazil, Philippines, where they're like, hi, you might help somebody in the Philippines in like over the provinces, and they'll be like, hey, listen, let me invite you to my house, and you might meet my wife and my kids or something, right? And because they think that because you're a foreigner and because like you can afford to go over there, and because maybe you stay in a hotel, that you are like super rich Warren Buffett or like whatever it is, right? So the point that I'm trying to make is that in Taiwan, maybe it's because of their economy, maybe it's because of their history, but people they're going to help you, but they're not going to like give you their email address and phone number. Even when I meet some of the people for like the first time, and I'm like, okay, hey, let's keep in touch or whatever, they'll be like, oh, let me give you my email, or like they'll be like, sorry, I don't have the Line app or like whatever, and I'm like who doesn't have that? Especially if you live in Taiwan, like that's impossible, right? They'll just like lie to you to your face. They'll lie to your face because they don't know who you are, right? So yeah, there's this type of little bit of like xenophobia, just like in Japan, but it's a lot less, I would say. Differences between Japan and Taiwan, like for example, there's kind of like these special chairs in the MRT in Taiwan where only if you're handicapped, pregnant, or disabled, handicapped, disabled, same thing. Disabled, old, or, well, you guys get it, like whatever, it's like a special seat or like whatever. And if you're a young person, you go sit there, like nobody cares, right? But if you go and do that in Japan, somebody's going to jump out of their seat and say like, no, you cannot sit here. So if I had to say like the biggest difference between Taiwan and Japan is that, yeah, there's rules in Taiwan, but like people will not go really out of their way to say, okay, well, this is to enforce the law or whatever, right? But in Japan, like they severely do that. You might be like in a cafe and like it's somebody's on their phone and nobody like really cares. And if you tell somebody to go keep it down or like whatever, they might say, okay, well, if you want to be quiet, then like go to the library, right? You'll never see that in Japan. So guys, I hope this was useful. I was trying to think of a topic to talk about, and I guess that probably teaching English is like kind of my forte. So anyway, this is Mike here in Taiwan. I'll see you guys later. Bye for now.